Mr Chair.
I call the Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Chair, look, I just want to make a couple of points in response to the Speaker who's just resumed her seat. First of all, I think it's fair to point out that the Select Committee made what I consider to be a very sensible change in that those 18 and 19-year-olds are perfectly entitled to ask to have a look at their risk analysis and be consulted on it. So it isn't a tick box that is just putting a person into a category. And as I say, I think the Select Committee made a very good change to the bill to ensure that they are consulted and they have the ability to discuss that analysis before and to correct anything that is wrong. The second thing I'd say is that I really would hate the House to go on thinking that the liability model has anything to do with in any way labelling young people as a burden to the community. In fact, it's quite the opposite. This government has high aspirations for all of our young people, and the young ones that this youth service is designed to well, you know, the trouble is, if you spray a whole lot of money around, what we know is that the ones who really need it are the ones who are least likely to access it. So the investment approach is actually about making sure that those who are most in need get the help that they need when they need it. And what we know from the liability work that was done, valuation that was done, is that if a young person under the age of 20 goes on to a benefit, their likelihood of staying on that benefit is much, much greater than if we had got them into work or kept them in education until they're beyond that age of 20. And why that is important is because of their life outcomes. We know that a life reliant, dependent on the taxpayers' benevolence through the benefit system is not a great life for those young people or for their families. And if you look at the outcomes for young people, it is not a pretty picture. We have high aspirations for them because they have those talents, and they need some extra help in order to develop those talents, and the youth service is designed to do that. It's a service that's based on relationship building between the providers and the young people. We're trying all sorts of ways to engage those young people and keep them either in training, in education, or get them into some form of sustainable employment. That's the aspiration that we want, but these young people do need that extra help. And if that means we have to do a risk analysis on them, as I say, they're perfectly able to have a look at that risk analysis and discuss it. But we want to be putting those extra resources and services and support around those that need it, because most young people don't need that. They're quite capable of getting on with their own lives, with the support and resilience that they have in their own lives. These are the most vulnerable young people in our communities, and these are the ones who very much deserve the best support that we can wrap around them.
Jacinda Ardern.